A reading from the Gospel according to Matthew. Jesus said, "Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites! For you lock people out of the kingdom of heaven. For you do not go in yourselves, and when others are going in, you stop them. Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites! For you cross sea and land to make a single convert, and you make the new convert twice as much a child of hell as yourselves. Woe to you, blind guides, who say, 'Whoever swears by the sanctuary is bound by nothing. Whoever swears by the gold of the sanctuary is bound by the oath.' You blind fools! For which is greater, the gold or the sanctuary that has made the gold sacred? And you say, 'Whoever swears by the altar is bound by nothing, but whoever swears by the gift that is on that altar is bound by the oath.' How blind you are! For which is greater, the gift or the altar that makes the gift sacred? So whoever swears by the altar swears by it and by everything on it. And whoever swears by the sanctuary swears by it and by the one who dwells in it. And whoever swears by heaven swears by the throne of God and by the one who is seated upon it." The word of the Lord. So Jesus is in rare form quite angry with the Pharisees today. And so woe be it to any of us who end up making the same transgressions the Pharisees are making in this story. But what is that exactly? This could be interpreted in a lot of different ways, but the thing that immediately jumps to my mind is this problem of being more concerned with getting credit for the good works that we're doing than remembering why we're doing the good works to begin with. Years ago now, I'm going to commend you a book. I think it still holds up to this day. It's Toxic Charity by Robert Lupton. It's well more than a decade old at this point, but I think it still holds up for a couple of reasons, and one of which is it asks us the question of looking at ourselves and asking, why are we doing the good works that we're doing? And are we doing the good works because it makes us feel good about ourselves, or because it's what the people that we are serving actually need? Far too often in the church, we are probably, I would say every church out there does this, but I know churches that I have served have certainly done this, where we've been so concerned with making sure that we do the good deeds that we want to do, that we haven't stopped to make sure that the people we're serving, that it's actually what they need, what would help them. It doesn't mean that we're not generous people. It doesn't mean that we're not good people. In the same way that the Pharisees were generous and good people. The problem the Pharisees ran into sometimes wasn't that they weren't good and righteous and generous. It was that sometimes they were so concerned with making sure that they got credit for the good works that they did, and sometimes got so caught up in the appearance of showing righteousness that they forgot why they were doing it. Leaving gifts at the altar is a good thing to do. Leaving gifts in the temple is a good thing to do. And Jesus isn't saying that they're not. But don't forget, the reason why you're leaving the gifts at the altar isn't so that you get the credit for being the person who left these gifts there, but because you love your God. And by extension, you love the people made in the image of God. So as we, as the church and as individuals, go out to do good work that we're called to do, be generous, be kind, be giving people, as I know you all are. But let's work together to make sure we're not losing sight of why we're doing it. It's really easy, and I've been caught in this myself, to fall into the trap of making sure that I do it in a way that brings great credit to myself. And what I remember from Toxic Charity by Robert Lupton is it's always important to stop and take a look at why we're giving what we're giving, how we're giving what we're giving, and to make sure that getting credit for it and having the appearance of being generous and kind and giving is less important to us than taking the time to think through, where does God need us to be? Where do the people of God need us to be? Amen.